Maybe movies.
No. Stop that.
What? It's in the popcorn! It's in the popcorn! It's gone.
What the fuck was that?
It was the hand. I don't know. It turns up every now and again. It's gone now. We'll leave it where it. Ooh. Our nameless effigy from last year has returned.
Hello. Yeah, you do?
Hello. Yeah. I think you might need to see someone about that. Do you remember last year when we had those like plants and stuff kind of creeping in on us?
Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's coming back to me now.
We were beset by people.
Wait. Hey! Is it Halloween time?
I think it is. Finally. I know we started early last month, but it's more important now because it is October.
Halloween time!
Spooktober is here.
And we have a couple of great films to look at this month, thanks to the disembodied voice of Chris Smith. We still don't know where he is. If you see him, please direct him back to the Delirium because we miss him.
I don't. I've not even met him.
That's going to be an interesting one. If we can get 4 people on here in the Delirium, that's going to be a bit...
That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
We've got popcorn again.
Popcorn, yay!
Popcorn is back, but I think our friend here does have our choices for the month.
And a kitty.
And a kitty. He does have a Halloween kitty.
Hello, kitty.
And we have our fresh supply of stars to start again. I have that one. You want that one?
I have that one.
Cool. So, if you did see episode 57, I think it was, at the end, you'd have heard that we had a visit not from Professor Noby, who is here, but Chris did suggest that we look at Evil Dead 2 and Cabin in the Woods as our maybe movie choices for the month. Just before we do, I think I'm going to try and make everything this month on our shout-outs all kind of slightly Halloween-themed or horror-themed, which seems appropriate.
Cool.
We'll start out with one of my favourite channels. It probably doesn't need a shout-out because I know they're doing very well, but if you are interested in audio horror, then please do go and check out HorrorBabble, which have been going for a good sort of 4 or 5 years now. They do a range of classic horror stories. Nice. As well as some of their own stuff. They do their own kind of Cthulhu-inspired stories, the guy who narrates it. Ian Gordon is the guy who does it.
Okay, cool, nice.
I've just started recently, they've just done a complete 9-hour run of all 9 of William Hodgson's Carnacy stories, as well as 3 new stories that they've written themselves.
Impressive.
So do go and check them out. Again, links will be in the description below, as always. And with that out of the way, very quickly, unless anybody else has anything else.
Not this time.
No. We've all calmed down from our little scare there. And, of course, our sleep, which we still don't understand. It just comes on us like a wave.
You could rephrase that.
You could.
You know I'm not going to.
That's just...
I try not to think about these sorts of things too much, but that just...
It's more scary than anything in this room, isn't it? I'm going to have some wine and I'm going to be quiet.
Maybe you should.
Although I can't, because we're going to start. Right, so we are back to 0 on our stars.
All clear now?
I've kept mine. I'm just going to start below and see where we get to.
Put them on.
Oh
no.
Well, I mean, we probably won't start using them until next time, so we will find you something.
No, that's all right. Next time I'll have something. But...
Okay. We have our 2 films here.
Yes.
2 very good ones as well. In some respects, it would have been easier to do Evil Dead.
Yes.
Because you've got 5 people, they all turn up together, the setup is almost identical to Cabin in the Woods. But, I mean, because I remember, I think we talked about this a bit before, and actually this one is a better one because the setup isn't as simple, because people arrive at different times and there are more characters.
Yes, yeah,
So
absolutely.
It adds an interesting element to it with regards to taking the premise, or again the antagonist from this, into this. I mean, just on that as a complete sort of aside, but a tangential aside, something that I didn't pick up so much on when we did this last year, but I definitely did with the ones that we did last month. When you're changing the antagonist, you are more likely to end up with a very different story. Because 9 times out of 10, the hero is just reacting to what the villain is doing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, that's why I didn't want to do the first Evil Dead, because they're very standard characters, but that's the problem. I think we'd break the movie almost straight away. Whereas Evil Dead 2 there's some clever people in it, and there are different circumstances, and it might play out differently.
To have a great deal of fun thinking it, right? So, which of the characters from Evil Dead 2 switch into each of the archetypes? And then you get things like with Ash, who in places kind of covers more than one.
Yes, he's the jock and the fool. At the very least, he's at least both of those at the same time, isn't he?
Yeah. But also, there's elements of... I mean, I know in that setup he wouldn't be, but especially when you take Ash from the first one, there's elements of the scholar there as well, because he's the one who finds the book and is interested in it. And
that's true. Yeah,
things
that is
like that.
Very true. Yeah.
But anyway, we'll come on to that more when we look at that particular film. With regards to acts, with Evil Dead, and again, I don't know if you'd agree with this, I called Act 1 as... when he hides in the cellar before they arrive.
He doesn't hide in the cellar.
There's a bit where the force is chasing him before anybody else turns up.
Oh!
And he dips down into the cellar, doesn't he?
Ah, right. You see, I have to admit, when I was watching it, my thought was that it's either going to be when his hand gets possessed, or when the others turn up.
I mean, the hand certainly is a change in tempo.
Yeah. Yes.
So that would be... I mean,
well, it's a complicated... At that point, he's just running from the horror. He's hiding from things, but then, oh no, now his hand is possessed, and it's a complication. It's a...
Yeah, that's true.
It's a turn. It's almost exactly at the half-hour point, which is also significant.
Because I thought the hiding in the cellar was, again, it's the call to action, and that's refused.
Oh, I see what you mean.
He refuses to confront it, he goes and hides.
I mean, to be fair, those bits are within moments of each other anyway, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're within like 5 minutes of each other. So, I mean, I think it sounds like you need to call this, buddy. What do you think? Is it the cellar or is it the hand?
I think it's going to be the hand.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then I called Act 3, I'm all right. After he gets possessed for the second time.
Yes. Because then they go down into the cellar and the whole third act thing starts to happen, doesn't it?
Yeah, because then you get groovy and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's the, we're going to do this. We're doing it properly.
Yeah, it's gone from the nadir to the turning, like, I've armed up. It's that classic montage moment, isn't it?
Every time I hear the word montage, I just think of Team America.
It asked me to do a montage of maybe movies. Just like, fine. Oh no, I've got years worth of stuff to go through. With Cabin in the Woods, I called Act 1 as the choosing.
I feel like the acts in Cabin in the Wood are like really quite sharp. Because the cellar opens, they go down and do the thing, and that's when everything starts to happen.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that one?
And then Act 3 be when going down in the elevator, or is that a bit too late?
I think it's slightly before that. It's when we get the reveal that Marty's alive. Because that's what they're all celebrating, and they're like, yay, and then in the background you can see it happening.
Which I think I call that Not Over, or something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
So, okay, that's cool. That's really easy. That's brilliant.
When it comes to bad guys, I'm curious as to how we're going to do this. Obviously, we've got the Deadites and the Buckner family.
Mm-hmm.
They obviously easily swap.
Yeah.
Now, but the question is, what about the others? What about I don't know what the word is, the Institute, the guys underground?
Yeah, the Institute.
Do they stay with their movie or do they move as well? Are they bad guys?
I think they should move.
Yeah.
They are the bad guys.
They are, absolutely.
They should definitely go into Evil Dead.
Yeah.
And I would love to see the Cabin in the Woods lot take on the Deadites.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I want to see how their reactions are.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Because they get the benefit of being meta.
They're also not drugged in this scenario, and they're all clever people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're all, the one dude is like translating all the stuff in the diary with the incantation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
they're skilled.
What I like about it as well is the guys that are in Cabin in the Woods who are working downstairs, so we get to see them, what they'd have looked like in the early 80s. When the mid-80s.
And also, we get to see Ash when he comes across the multitude of creatures.
Yes.
Which I did notice when they're doing the betting in Cabin in the Woods, and they've got the whiteboard up with all of the things that are in there, Deadites are on the board.
They are. Yes, they are.
So you can imagine it. Ash versus the Deadites. Ash versus the zombies.
Yeah. Of course, yeah.
Again, I like that idea that because they're the ones who are going to be behind it, rather than... Right, yeah, we've got our 5 people, they're all on their way. Again, we can have a play around with, are Annie and that expected, or are they part of it? I mean, I suppose they would have to be. They've kind of set them up that they are going to come up and join them in the cabin, so you have people arriving at different times. So.
See, I would make the argument that they were expecting the 5 to turn up, the 5 that were in the original Evil Dead, but only Ash and Linda turn up, and then they have to scramble
to get the others.
To get other people in there.
And because you've got this kind of, well, is Ash the fool? Is Ash the jock? Which one is he? Oh shit, what do we get? We don't know. Fuck. What if we end up with too many?
Exactly, yeah.
Well, what if we also get Ash perpetually off his tits smoking weed?
I don't think we'll need it.
No, I reckon that would add an interesting little nuance to the whole thing. Because he just gets to the cabin, him and his girlfriend sitting there, roll up a doobie, and start toking away. And then...
It is meant to be a part of the program. He's supposed to be... The fool is meant to be a junkie. He's meant to be... He's either alcoholic or drugged or something.
So Ash is a perpetual stoner.
I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that one, because that's... It's adding an element to the character that's not already there in the film, which breaks from what we normally do.
Yeah, but it would be fucking funny.
I have no problem with if we roll it into it. Say, for example, Jake has brought some weed with him, and to calm him down, they give him something like that. But I think it's out of character for him just to turn up with Linda smoking, because it's not what he does in the film.
I know this is technically outside of our purview, but in Ash and the Evil Dead, what's the pink fucker? That's it. It's the name of the drink that they all drink, isn't it? The pink fucker.
Yeah.
So maybe he's knocked back a few pink fuckers.
Yeah. They've brought some of that with them, yeah.
And that's definitely got something in it.
So they've got that instead of the champagne that he goes to get when he's with Linda.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If you actually look at the first 20 minutes of that movie, he goes from my girlfriend to have to kill her very quickly. Mm-hmm. And there's it's nice to think of a reason why he would be behaving that way.
Because he imbibed.
He's imbibed, he's out of his tree.
I mean, we could even have it as something that they find up there, which they've left on purpose.
Crate of pig fucks.
But again, we'll look at that more when we get to the film, because we're just discussing everything overall here. In terms of our naming conventions, I put it down as Evil in the Woods and Cabin Dead is the obvious ones.
No?
I think we should have Cabin Dead.
Cabin Dead for...
Cabin Dead.
And then Evil in the Woods it would be.
Dead in the Woods.
No, it should be Cabin Dead and Evil in the Woods, surely.
Cabin Evil.
Dead
in the Woods.
We normally do it as... Whichever is the film that is the base plot is the first word, and then we take the second half of the film that we're adding to it.
Yeah.
So Cabin would be Cabin Dead, Evil in the Woods.
Alright, yeah.
Hello.
Are they doing it again?
Chris?
Are they trying to communicate?
They were for a second. It's going to get it's going to get worse, hopefully.
I do like the Cabin Dead. That's whoa.
Told you.
Oh boy.
We are not alone.
Does that mean they agree or disagree?
I wasn't really communing with them, but I think they agree.
We are 3, so we can vote.
Evil in the Woods and Cabin Dead it is.
I'm happy with that. Are you happy with that?
I'm happy with that.
Yep. Okay.
Cool. And then last thing then is, which one do we do first?
Cabin Dead.
Cabin Dead? Okay.
I want to see how Ash does, because I really look forward and relish the idea of Dead in the Woods.
Yeah.
So it'll be Evil in the Woods first with Ash and everybody with them. Yeah? Cool. They are fantastic films, and I'm going to look. This is one of those
great movies.
One of those films that I can always go back to. I will say now, it's going to be hard for me personally not to pick the film that's got Ash in it, because, as I think the Mirror is trying to tell us, hail to the king, baby.
Hail to the king, baby.
But we will see. We'll see how we get on. Again, it can all change.
We'll see how it goes.
See, it's really funny because I actually watched the trilogy the other night.
Oh, the whole lot.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
I don't think there's anything else that we need to establish on this moment. We know which one we're doing first, we know what they're going to be called, and we know where our acts are. So please do come back and join us next Wednesday for Act 1 of Evil in the Woods, where we will see how the great old ones fare against a guy who works at S-Mart.
Shop smart. Shop
Shop
smart.
Until then, have a great weekend. We will see you next week.
As always, guys, TTFN.
Bye.
Ba 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 ba.